Hi YouTube, Editor J here. You're all looking absolutely gorgeous as usual. I'm hoping I can have your attention for a second, including you, Ryan. Actually tab over and pay attention. So we're getting closer and closer to the war within, and most content creators are absolutely wild with the alpha spoilers. But we aren't most content creators and are trying something bold and daring by actually not spoiling the story ahead of time and engaging with it naturally. Y'all have been absolutely wonderful by not mentioning spoilers in the comments thus far, and we would all really appreciate keeping that vibe going. We appreciate your patience on the matter. And now, it's wackadoodle time.
What if Azeroth emerges and turns out to be like super evil? Then that's fucking lame and we've all wasted our time. Why would Azeroth emerge and turn out to be super evil? That's such a lame-ass Disney movie twist, in my opinion, and that's no offense against you, but no. The whole concept of Azeroth is the balance. Azeroth isn't good or evil. Azeroth is not to be defined by such things. She is the source of all good and evil, right? It's like trying to say that, it's like, again, it's like the God thing. I think in your mind, you're trying to come up with like this reason for how Azeroth can be the fucking literal Antichrist. But what you have to realize is that, again, the Antichrist is part of God, or part of Christ itself, right? In this way, I'm not a religious person for this religion, but I use it as an example because it's widely known that they're literally part of the same being. So I think you ought to get this out of your mind that there's this, that she's going to be this evil being, because she's beyond that. It's not even it's literally not about that. Evil and good are perspective and often defined by the side which holds disdain, a side which holds disdain for another. It's easy to label yourself as good in something that wants to do any harm to you as evil, naturally. But that's not really how it works. So, again, I don't think that there's a risk of Azeroth waking up as some evil deity. I think that's the cheapest, laziest fucking ass pull story that you could do. I think what we should realize, or maybe not realize, that sounds the wrong way. What we should consider is that the Void Song is the negative alternative. Like, don't fall into this fucking trap where, like some people are, where they think the Radiant Song is deception. Like, Jesus Christ. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. I don't think so, of course. Where the Void Song is the bad alternative. We're not gonna, if Azeroth awakens as she's meant to, then it's gonna be fine. But if we let the Void Song win, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, that'll be a big problem. Pyro, do you think Aman'Thul works on behalf of a group from a different dimension? No, not really. I could see him being an aspect, a deity of light, and in this way, he would almost be like an expression of Era Iluvatar, which is actually Azeroth. So in this way, time and the way that he keeps things, I think he is an expression of Azeroth. Again, I think they all are in different ways. And fuck, for all I know, this 6 people back here could all be parts of fucking Elune for all I know. They could all be aspects of that deity, and Sargeras the opposite. The 6 were one and the 7th the other in this way. The 6 were one, Elune, and the 7th the other, Sargeras. I know that those quotes are typically attributed to the cosmic forces, but these are fractals we're talking about, and so they're not to be attributed to only one thing. So, anyway, I could see, Aman'Thul, I see the Titans, again, as like a spectrum of light. So it's kind of like this quote from Farim. Long have I scoffed at what I learned of Titans, or the Void Lords, or Demons of the Nether. I held Death's pantheon in higher regard, but I know now that Death's pantheon is just as limited. Truth lies not in one direction or another, but at the intersection. The first ones had parceled out all their gifts, but they gave no child all of them. No wonder, and maybe that's not true, but that's kind of, no wonder these offspring bickered with such incessant jealousy. Their very nature was one of denial. And so, I pull up the Atamal Crystal. The Atamal Crystal was an artifact given to the Eridar of Argus by the Naru long before Velen's time. It was shattered into 7 shards during the flight of the Draenei. Oh, interesting, because I see 7 Titans on the Titan Pantheon as well. Also, look at the colors of all of these. If you can't tell, there's a violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. And in fact, when you learn about them, the shards, check this out. The brilliant star is the yellow shard. It calms the carrier's emotions, purifying them, allowing them clarity in their decisions. This especially affects casters, allowing a manipulation of arcane and elemental magics rarely paralleled elsewhere. One thing to know about the Brilliant Star, which is part of the Atamal Crystal, is that added in fucking Dragonflight, when the orcs disposed of it after their corruption, Kil'jaeden reclaimed the shard for the Burning Legion. Many seized it after the Demon Lord's death, and it eventually fell into the hands of Nal'Redun, who believed he could use it to commune with Sargeras. The Minari Arzalkal tracked it down and retrieved it with the aid of an adventurer before returning it to Velen. So this guy in Contrition, this guy Nal'Redun, thinks that you can use the Brilliant Star, yellow shard of the Atamal Crystal, which calms the carrier's emotions, purifying them and giving them clarity in their decisions, to speak with Sargeras. That's fucking interesting. In addition to that, we have other ones like Heart of Fury, which is the red shard, which, when possessed by an individual, accentuates their aggressiveness and strength. Interesting. Leaf Shadow, the green shard, possessing the power to cloak an area around it from vision. The Spirit Song, the violet shard, which opens the mind and spirit, which is Velen likens to having direct contact with the Naru whenever he used it. So, Eye of the Storm, Shield of the Naru, Fortune's Smile. What we're looking at, in my opinion, is we're seeing this Atamal Crystal break into 7 shards, each of which can be attributed to a Titan of the Titan Pantheon. Honestly. Brilliant Star for Sargeras, Leaf Shadow for Eonar, Heart of Fury. Honestly, you could even say Heart of Fury for Sargeras, but you could take that and you could say, okay, Heart of Fury with fire, we would say Khaz'goroth, Spirit Song, it's Violet, Mind and Spirit, kind of makes me think Norganon, Eye of the Storm, Golganeth, Shield of the Naru, Agrimar, Fortune's Smile, kind of thinking Aman'Thul. It's either the indigo or orange crystal. Regardless, the idea is that perhaps Azeroth and perhaps the cosmic forces are similar to the Atamal Crystal, where it is one whole crystal and it gets broken into many different fragments. And in this way, I think what we start to see is a prism where you have the light of creation, this pure white light, being refracted through a pattern, a system that's been devised, and what this system does is it divides it into a spectrum. And this spectrum is what we're all on. But no, it's like I think what it's doing is it's taking the base creation and it's splitting into all of its aspects. Right? So it's like here, I don't know if you know this, but I was learning about diamonds because Magni's made of diamond. The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn, and I was just reading about diamonds and how they work, and the reason why diamonds sparkle and shine so brilliantly is because they have multiple refractions within them. So you go from like one refraction, and then a second one, which even further intensifies and solidifies the color spectrum, and then again, and this is very layman's terms, I don't know if this is even the right way of saying it, but essentially it ends up giving you very clear spectrum of light. And so I wonder if Magni's connection with Diamond and being Diamond, I wonder if it implies something about, is he able to hear the individual voices that are attuned with different things on the spectrum? Or is Magni really made of diamond? You know, I just think that it's interesting to think about what that could imply about his connection, maybe, and it's maybe even a connection again with Azeroth, you know? Of him basically being a vessel through which Azeroth can basically funnel her light, and perhaps the refraction is his interpretation of her feelings and emotions and thoughts that are being given to him via light. But I'm concerned that not only would this light function in this way, because we also have the Titans, and we have Starlight, and we have stuff like that. So the fact that he's kind of blue is interesting to me, because Diamond is not blue. Typically, I mean, you can get Oh, what? I typed blue, not diamond. I typed blue. Okay, because diamonds aren't blue. They can be, right? You can get like a blue diamond or like a red diamond or whatever. I don't know exactly what the difference there is, but they're supposed to be like mostly kind of clear and reflecting, like I said, refracting this light in different ways. And I guess I'm concerned that when Magni says, when he comes into Antorus the Burning Throne and says, I heard a familiar voice calling out to me from deep within Argus or some bullshit. I heard a familiar voice urging us forward. In the fact that it ends up being Eonar, and he says, oh, it's Eonar. Oh, I didn't. Okay, can he be? Like, you know, I just don't think, it almost seems like Magni was being spoken to by something that he thought. I mean, that sounded familiar, which would imply Azeroth, but then when you find out that it's Eonar, you're like, what? Like, wait a second. Like, a colored diamond means it has an impurity in it. Colored diamonds contain interstitial impurities or structural defects. Shut the fuck up. That cause coloration. Pure diamonds are perfectly transparent and colorless. He's an impure diamond. Is he an orderly diamond? Is that why he's blue? Don't do this to me, bro. Don't do the blue order thing. He's got white eyes too. Oh no. Don't do this. That's interesting to think about, because he, again, yeah, he should be clear or like transparent or something. Graphic limitations. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that.